on the protection of human rights defenders. The award ceremony of this second edition of the HRD Awards will take place today, and the ceremony is being hosted by the Netherlands ambassador to Kenya, Frans Makken. Netherlands is the current chair of the Human Rights Defenders Working Group. Well, and for more on this, let's now speak to Salome Nduta. She is from the National Coalition of Human Rights Defenders. Thank you very much for joining us here on a KTN News Desk. Of course, this is big news to every human rights defender in the country.
Thank you so much.
What does this award ceremony mean for you as a human rights activist?
The award for me and many other human rights defenders means that there are people who recognize the important work that we are doing as human rights defenders, and to show appreciation to this, then they opt to set aside this day to recognize those of us from the pastoralist communities, from informal settlements, from professions like teachers, doctors, and others, to appreciate our work.
Looking at how 2017 panned out, it was a protracted political year that saw human rights defenders also be busy. How would you describe 2017 in terms of the space for human rights in the country for the citizenry?
Like it happens in every election year, 2017 was no exception. In an election year, human rights defenders are targeted, and it is on that basis that the award is happening today. The award was meant to take place last year, but because of elections and what happened thereafter, it was not possible to have this award. Human rights defenders, and more so the monitors who are monitoring elections, then journalists and civil society organizations, they were targeted. For example, there were monitors who were denied access to polling stations. We had 2 organizations whose offices were locked. And also we had so many cases of journalists being targeted as they covered the election process. So these are just a few of the challenges that human rights defenders went through, not to mention some of them being arrested.
So this award ceremony, knowing that it's the ambassador from Netherlands who's giving these particular awards, I mean, how do we expect 28 to pan out for you as human rights defenders? What are we working on to better the human rights space in the country?
In terms of 2018, we envisaged that there may be some slight improvement, especially if we are to get the much needed support from the missions, from the media, from other civil society organizations. In most cases, when human rights defenders tend to work by themselves or in isolation without getting any support, it becomes easy to be targeted. So in terms of 2018, we would call on various partners, various allies who recognize the importance of our work to come out and support us anytime any of us is targeted.
Do you think so
For
far?
those who will be awarded today,
yes, go on.
It is important that you utilize that recognition to continue championing for human rights defense in Kenya.
Do you think so far you've been getting enough support from stakeholders and even the government?
For the government, I would say not much support has come from that end. However, if you look at our relationship at counties, there are counties that are very appreciative of who a defender is and the work that they do. And therefore, we would ask all the other 47 counties to come out and join human rights defenders whenever they are pushing for promotion and protection